Rock on the track, boy.
All right. What up, everyone? This is the Dynasty Show again. As always, I'm Zach. We got Jay and Javon with us today. The usual crew. Just so today we got a great episode for you. We're just going to touch on a few topics here. We're going to touch on Deebo's trade, Marcus Smart, DPOY, and we're going to give you a breakdown of each of the NBA playoff series that's going on right now. Because if you've been watching, there's been some great series going on. Some that Nets Celtics series, for example, could be an all-time great playoff series, like with the way it's shaping out, you know. So, and as always, don't forget to like the episode and subscribe to our channel. We're on all major social media platforms. We're trying to get a few more up too, so stay tuned for those. We'll let you know when those are up. But yeah, give us a like, subscribe to the channel. We're gonna be doing a 50 subscriber giveaway, so you're gonna want to get in on that. When we hit 50 subscribers, we're going to be giving away some Dynasty Show merch, like a T-shirt. You know, we'll get you a nice T-shirt and all that. As the Dynasty Show, our logo. It'll have our logo with our ugly mugs on it, so then everyone can see us everywhere you go.
We'll have a post from Zach on one of the mugs.
Yes. Yes. All right. So yeah, let's kick off today's show. So Deeob Samuel. Deebo Samuel requested a trade from the San Francisco 49ers. Deebo is my current favorite NFL player. I love his talent. I love his skill set, like the way they use him, his versatility. He's just awesome.
Why do you think he requested a trade then?
I mean, I'm not going to speculate. Like I said, only Deebo Samuel knows why he requested a trade. If I'm not going to get too much into speculation on that. If I had to speculate, it's because the 49ers probably won't pay him when his contract's up at the end of the year. That's what I'm thinking. So he's like, just trade me. But as far as likely teams that I can see him going to, it's going to be teams. It's not going to be like a rebuilding team. I think it's going to be a team that has the draft capital to trade, that has 2 first-round picks this year. And I think it's going to be a team that's a contender, not a team that's rebuilding, not like the Jets or the Giants, because they don't really need a player like Deebo. They're rebuilding. They're trying to, so it'll kind of be counterproductive to what they're trying to do. Trade their high draft picks for Deebo Samuel. Okay, that's counterproductive. So I think that leaves the teams left would be the Packers and the Chiefs. Now, we all know the Packers are desperate for a wide receiver. Allen Lazard is the wide receiver 1 on that team currently. And I mean, not to knock Allen Lazard, but I mean, there's kind of a lot of unknown with him. I mean, I know with Aaron Rodgers, he can make receivers great. Look what he did with Jordy Nelson, Look at what he did with Greg Jennings and Donald Driver.
Look what he did with Lazard also, because Lazard came out of nowhere too.
I mean, don't get me wrong. When Lazard was healthy, he's definitely shown flashes. So I just think do they really want Lazard to be the number 1? I guess to me, if they don't go and get Deebo, that'll show me that the Packers are comfortable with Allen Lazard as their wide receiver 1.
I'm gonna tell you my take. I don't think they're comfortable with him at wide receiver 1. If I was the Packers, I mean, I'm just not hearing this news actually because I was behind on this Deebo Samuels trade. I've been in the NBA, but I think Green Bay would be stupid not to go after this guy, because I was thinking myself because they have 2 first rounds.
Yeah, they've picked 22 and picked 28 this year.
Whatever receiver they draft at that position would probably be the number 1 over Lazard coming in, because Lazard he's okay, but he's not a number 1. At all. So I think Green Bay would.
He's not a true number 1
after Deebo, and get rid of one of those picks that you was going to get a receiver anyway, because you're not going to get a receiver in this draft that's going to be better than Deebo Samuel is right now anyway. So I think Green Bay would probably be the best fit But I know KC would love to have him also. So
well, KC's been shopping around for a wide receiver
That's the
too.
question. Are they going to get what receiver wants to go there just for 1 year? No, they might not even get paid next year.
Well, that's the thing though, is like anywhere that Deebo goes, they're gonna pay him. It's gonna be a sign and trade.
yeah,
So they're gonna trade him and then they're gonna re-sign him. So that's what it is. And like I was talking to Javo briefly about this last night. Like, yeah, I just said the backers. I could see the Chiefs doing it. Now, the surprise team that I see who could make a run for Deebo, who I think would actually really benefit them well, is the Miami Dolphins. Trade Jalen. So hear me out. They would trade Jalen Waddle. Obviously, they need to trade Jalen Waddle and some draft capital to San Fran for Deebo Samuel. But that would give now the Miami Dolphins Tyreek Hill and Deebo Samuel, who are two, top 10 wide receivers in the NFL, who have very similar skill sets. You can line both up all over the field. I just think if Miami went out on that would make their offense one of the craziest offenses in the NFL, with the speed and having to account for them, because defenses would now have to game plan for both Tyreek Hill and Deebo Samuel, meaning that it can give Tua a little bit more of a leash because he won't have to do as much, because they're not looking for him, Like I said, I don't think it's likely he goes to Miami, but I wouldn't be surprised if I saw Miami make a strong push for him, or if like when the trade happens, it's like Deebo's to Miami. Because like I said, if you follow him on Instagram too, he's expressed that he wants to be in Miami. He loves Miami.
Here's the problem with him going to Miami. The thing about Deebo,
they're not giving up Waddle.
To me, a lot of people talk about this around the league. They want draft. They want somebody said a King Hall. They want King Hall for Deebo. Right?
Yeah.
Which one of these teams have the draft capital and the young talented players to trade for Deebo? That's what it comes down to.
And I think the two teams that have the draft capital to trade are Green Bay and Kansas City.
I was gonna say Green Bay, yeah, with those 2 first-round picks, Green
They
Bay
would have to trade both 22 and 28 to the Niners. Same with KC would have to probably trade both 29 and 30 to the Niners for Deebo.
The argument, like you said, is Green Bay comfortable with what they have right now?
No.
We know Aaron Rodgers is comfortable. He made it very clear he's not comfortable there, but he still signed his extension. So I guess they have a plan of what they want to do. We don't know that yet. We have to see it come to until
they got to go. They have no choice but to go receiver.
That's what I'm saying. They have to go for Deebo.
They have no choice because after Lazard, what do you have? Cobb?
Sammy Watkins.
Cobb's what, 35?
Yeah, they got Lazard and Sammy Watkins, and Armani Brown.
Those guys that, I say if they don't go after Deebo, you got to go receiver with those picks in the first round.
Like you guys said earlier about their receivers that's currently on Green Bay, they're good, but you can argue that Aaron Rodgers is really bringing out their potential, right? So now what if you give Aaron Rodgers a weapon who's ready know how to be a weapon? Give Aaron Rodgers somebody great and let them do it rather than it's just an Aaron Rodgers show. And you know how dynamic that Green Bay offense is going to be if they get Deebo.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, especially because Deebo's versatility. You can line Deebo up in the backfield. You can line Deebo up as a running back. So you get that aspect too. You're not just getting his ability in the receiving game. You're getting his ability to be a effective running back, to be effective in the open field. He's probably the best open field player in the NFL currently. I mean, if you go look at his yak numbers, I'm pretty sure it's only Cooper Kupp who's ahead of him in yak, which is insane. The yards after the catch. But yeah, so I mean, Deebo does a lot, and people always knock him because he's been injured and he was injured in college. Yeah, well, look at Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen, consistent top 10 wide receiver. Up until 2017, was missing multiple games a year. Since 2017, hasn't missed a snap hasn't missed a game, hasn't missed a snap, So that's why I'm like, that injury prone thing. Well, yeah, when players are younger, they're more likely to get hurt, That's what it is. So I think he can work that out. I think that's something that I think the injury thing is an issue that works out. It's just changing your diet, changing your training routine, all sorts, It's just knowing your body more. So I think Debo can change that. But
so I'm asking you guys, you think that trade happens now or later?
I think it'll happen before the draft.
I mean, it happened later. Before I think it has to happen before preseason.
You think so?
Yeah,
because the draft's right around the corner.
If you get Debo and Rodgers,
I think it'll happen. I think it'll either happen before the draft or during the draft. And I also think that there's a possibility that San Fran doesn't trade Debo too.
And that's that's another thing I was getting at, because what if they don't get anything that they like, you think they just, hey, you know,
what are going to do? It's going
it out.
Repeat of what? Of the Kyrie situation? The Cavs, this is where I see it. The Cavs didn't get what they wanted for Kyrie. They took the best option, which was Isaiah Thomas. To me, that wasn't the best option to play with LeBron, but that was their best offer to keep the Cavs a contender. That didn't happen that year. But that's where I see it. Like, you can't not trade Debo. Debo asked for a trade. You either trade him now or he's gonna walk out. And you don't want to play. You don't want to play as great as Debo to just walk out and leave you nothing.
Yeah, but would you rather have him on your team for that 1 year and let him walk away?
No.
To possibly win a championship, or would you rather trade him away and for someone that may not pan out? Because I think people fail to realize, it's about, if you look at the percentages, it's roughly about 90% of rookie picks don't pan out in the NFL. Only a handful of rookie picks in the NFL actually pan out and become not just star players, but actual role players, So that's what I'm saying. So maybe they don't get a return. They trade him. They keep him for the year, let him test the free agency market and all that, because maybe they're like, yeah, these late rookie picks, okay, yeah, Green Bay's offering us 22 and 28, but what can we get to improve our team at that position, in this draft class? This draft class is mainly wide receivers and defensive players,
Yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you this. You think that the 49ers believe they have a chance to win it all?
Yes, I believe that the 49ers believe that they have a chance to win it all.
I mean, any organization would say that, but
the 49ers believe it, but they don't have a chance.
Realistically, I don't think they know they probably not winning this year with what they have.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I don't think they'll win a Super Bowl. That they need a little bit. They need someone better than Garoppolo to win a Super Bowl. Garoppolo's good. He's been a winner. He's been pretty good. I remember when he was filling in for Brady for Brady's suspension, how well he played there. Garoppolo's never going to be your star quarterback, but he's good enough. He's better than a game managing quarterback, and he's good enough to win games. But I don't think he's good enough to win a championship. And also, I wonder too, if the 49ers trade Debo, how will that affect Trey Lance? Because Trey Lance is their future. So what's that going to do with Trey Lance? I'm honestly low on Trey Lance. I've been very low on Trey Lance. I said of all the quarterbacks to bust out of this last draft class, Trey Lance was the most likely. And everyone was so high. I was like, I don't know why you're so high on a dude who has a 50% career completion percentage, has horribly inaccurate balls. He has gotten better from what I've seen, but I think he also needs a player like Debo.
I'm not really high on him either. I just say he's Tua level talent.
I don't think he's Tua level talent. I think it's I think he's a slightly worse. I think at best Trey Lance is going to be a slightly worse Jalen Hurts.
I think
Jalen Hurts isn't bad. Jalen Hurts is not a bad quarterback. Don't listen to the media hype. The media bashes Jalen Hurts. Don't listen to the media. Because in 2 years the media is going to be on Jalen Hurts' dick like they were with Josh Allen.
I got to see it one more year, Zach. I got to see it one more year from Hurts. One more.
Well, he's gotten better each of the last
he's not
6
bad.
seasons he's played football.
Hurts is not bad. Listen, Hurts is not bad, but I got to see it one more. He's like, you see flashes of some good, and then it's like, damn, what are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, he's going to have growing pains, but
one more year. I give him one more year. I got to see it this year.
I don't know. I think Jalen Hurts could be a winner, but yeah. Before I digress more into that, we got more of the show to talk about here. So we got a great.
Get into this basketball.
So as most of you are aware, and if you're not, Marcus Smart won Defensive Player of the Year in the NBA. And if you're a fan of the show and you've been watching, as you know, I'm a huge Celtics fan. And 2 episodes ago, I said Marcus Smart was going to win DPOY, and these fools were like, nah.
It was a team award.
No, but I mean, great for Marcus Smart. He's a deserving player of it. Like, he's been in the running for it pretty much every year of his career. Second guard to ever win DPOY behind Gary Payton. You know, I mean, that's a huge honor. That's great company. That's great company to be included with too. You know, I mean, Gary Payton is probably one of the best defensive players of all time.
Oh yeah,
in basketball, not just a guard, just overall.
First team easily, all time easily. Gary Payton.
I mean, you don't get nicknamed the glove for nothing, you know.
Easily, GP, easy. Now I will say this: GP is the only one that I seen guard Jordan the way he did. He shut down Jordan.
I don't remember when you talking about, so I have to look that up.
Yes, he did.
Come on, man. Nobody played defense better. Nobody played defense better than.
I don't know everything that happened in the 90s. I don't know what.
Go back and look it up. That series, Supersonics and the Bulls.
I was just gonna say, watch the finals between the Bulls and Supersonics.
Yeah, watch it.
Gary Payton and Sean Kemp are the only two players who showed off that entire series for the Supersonics.
I said, Gary Payton. He's one of mine. I love hearing about stories about Gary Payton from my dad. Yeah, I like GP. GP. He was amazing to me. But I never heard a story of him locking down LeBron. So I said LeBron. MJ.
MJ?
Watch the tapes.
Go watch the tape.
Finals. Yeah. What was that? 1996?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
I think so. I mean, Jordan talked about it in The Last Dance too, briefly.
Exactly.
He always said one of the players he hated going up against was Gary Payton.
There's a lot of stuff Jordan said in The Last Dance. Pay attention to you, okay?
But anyways, back to the defensive players here. I'm gonna tell you like this. You can't knock that pick. I mean, because Smart. But I understand where you coming from, Jabo. It was a team award. Because Celtics got good defense. He benefits from the way they play defense, but Marcus Smart has always been a defensive player. That's what he make his money playing defense.
He's been the best defensive player on that Celtics team for a long time.
Easily. So I'm not mad at that pick. It was surprising, but I'm not mad at it because Smart is an excellent defender. Matter of fact, you know, he's an excellent defender. So I'm not mad at that pick.
I'm still not happy about the pick, but you know, like I said, it's a team. To me, they gave it to him because I think it was more of a team award this year. However, I rather Marcus Smart get it over the runner up, which was McCall Bridges. I really do not see how. I understand McCall Bridges played amazing defense, but I don't see how he was the runner up. He was the runner up.
So who you thought should have won?
Who I don't know, man. Giannis have a good case, and Embiid. I'm not gonna say Embiid, but this other players. I have to look at it. I have to look up. I get my notes together. But I think a big man, to me, a big should have won it.
But here's what I'll ask you. So you think a big man should have won it? Why shouldn't a guard who does everything that those bigs can do? Why shouldn't he win it? Because Marcus Smart can do everything that Giannis can do.
And he guards the best player, and he guards bigger players than him a lot of times.
It's not that he isn't a great defender. To me, it's the fact that the way he went off of the Celtics going on a defensive run, a defensive winning streak. To me, that just made it more of a team award rather than a player award.
Yeah, but if you've been watching,
I'm against Marcus Smart winning it this year.
Yeah, but if you've been watching Smart over his career, though, you can argue he should have been in the runnings every year, though.
For sure, but I'm talking about this season. This season, it just felt like a team award rather than a player award, and I have a problem with that.
I get where you're coming from though. I mean, I get it.
The
I
Celtics,
guess. I think that's kind of foolish, to be honest.
right?
DPOY isn't a team award, and even if it is a team award, he's the best. He's the best defensive player
What
on
I
the best
what
defensive team in the league.
Also,
So
on
wouldn't that right there mean that you win DPOY? Even if it's a team award, you're the best defensive player on the best team, the best defensive team in the league.
yeah, yeah.
That means you're the best defender in the league.
Williams is a top defender in the league, in my opinion, one of the best big defenders.
Who?
Brown, he's a nice wing defender, right? Jalen Brown played. Jake Tatum and he's been improving his two-way basketball. I mean, that's Grant Williams is great as well. He comes from the bench, does a lot of great defensive and offensive efforts for the Celtics night in, night out. No, I'm just saying. I just feel like they're rewarding the Celtics team defense. Right?
No, I don't think so. I think they're finally giving credit where credit's due because Marcus Smart has the ability that Draymond has. He can affect the game on both sides without the ball, and he doesn't need the ball in his hand to be effective.
About offensive. This is not an offensive ability argument. It's literally just.
I'm saying on both sides of the ball. If you were listening to what I said, but he can affect the game without the ball in his hands. He doesn't need the ball to make plays. He doesn't like Giannis needs. Like, I get it. I don't think Giannis can affect the game quite like Smart can. Like, Giannis needs his touches, needs to touch the ball. Marcus Smart can go a whole game with no points, no assists, and still be an effective player for the Celtics and affect the game and the outcome of the game for them.
You may not like Smart.
That's just his skill set. He's not a great playmaker like Draymond Green is. So you can't knock down Draymond because his skill set relies on him rebounding, doing everything on the court besides score, like rebound, playing big first team. That's just his role on the Warriors compared to Smart's role on the Celtics. Smart is not the playmaker. Well, he's not a great playmaker in my opinion.
Yeah, but playmaking doesn't have anything to do with Defensive Player of the Year.
I'm saying, why does Marcus Smart offensive ability have to be mentioned in this?
I didn't say. I just said on both sides of the ball he can affect the game.
Defense, right?
But no, both sides of the ball he can affect the game. Like, and I mean, like, even on offense without the ball in his hand, his spacing, his basketball IQ, his spacing, his knowing where to go.
Smart's a good player.
He's very deserving of the award.
It was well earned and well deserved. I think it wasn't. And Mikal Bridges, you can't knock him either, Javo.
Runner up. It's too early.
How though? We're talking about this year, though. We're talking about this year.
Yes, this year.
He stepped up this year.
A lot of people on the Suns stepped up this year.
Yeah, but Mikal is that anchor on the defense.
Yeah, I guess. But,
So who do you? Okay, let me ask you this: Give me your top three then.
My top three. Mark Sparks obviously in there. To me, what's his name? Giannis always has to be in there. He's what he does for the team. The Bucks offensively and defensively. He always will be in that MVP DPOY place, no matter what. And then I look at. I hate it. I hate that I have to say the same. I don't like him. I don't like him at all. But to me, Rudy Gobert will always be in that conversation.
Yeah, I mean,
he is the best he's the best healthy shot blocker in the league. I feel like if Miles Turner had more.
You see what Smart's doing. KD and them boys right now, right?
I think that's the real reason why Javo is like Smart doesn't deserve it because he's shutting down BK.
Yeah.
Shutting down the Nets.
Have you been paying close attention to this series?
I'm watching the game.
He's been playing good defense on them boys.
Yeah, he has.
Smart's a good defender, man. Smart's he's a good defender.
He is a good defender. Let's see how well this defense keeps KD in check. Let's see. I don't think somebody as good as KD is going to be blocked. It's going to be bad. This bad. Multiple games in a row. So
we'll see. But yeah, that's transitions us now into, we got a lot to talk about with the NBA playoffs going on.
Let's start with that series.
We've had a lot of great series. So yeah, let's kick it off with the Eastern Conference. Let's kick it off with Boston versus Nets, because this series has the potential to be an all-time great playoff series. I mean, the Celtics and Nets have been delivering, throughout the years, just classic classic playoff series. I mean, I think the largest playoff comeback came in Celtics Nets series, where it was 20. The Celtics were down by 24, ended up winning by 4. With Jason Kidd was still on the Nets and all that.
Yeah.
So I think, so there's been like a rivalry.
Yeah.
What?
Why you have to remind me of that too? Come on,
I got to remind you how bad the Nets suck.
That's bad memory right there.
All right, Zach. I know you got Boston. Jabo, me and you we on Brooklyn. What's going on? I just want to know what's y'all take. Jabo, what's your take of what's going on with Brooklyn right now?
The Celtics have found a way to make it hard for KD to play basketball naturally. This to me is I've never seen I've seen it before, but I've never seen KD be affected so much to the point where he's taking the shots he wants and it's just not falling. He's turning over the ball, he's making bad decisions, and that all starts with the Celtics defense. Because the last time I seen something like this probably was 2012 when he was going against the LeBron and Wade Heat and Bosh Heat. That one year when they made it, when that Thunder team made to the finals, nobody expected that. I was like, wow, this is because this reminded me of when KD was doing that same thing, He was getting his shots and he just didn't feel comfortable on the court. Because of the defense I was being applied on him. Like my roommate was just telling me this a couple of minutes ago before the show started that the way Celtics are playing defense on him, KD's never alone. He always has two defenders, at least two defenders.
Man, Kyrie.
Yeah.
Man, Kyrie.
The person will follow him, and then somebody will come from the corner or from the paint to help out and stop KD in the mid-range.
Yeah. But that's why I disagree with what you're saying as far as KD. It's not so much as KD.
I'm not solely blaming KD. I'm just talking about one of the issues right now is KD's ability to play against Celtics right now. That's one.
I'll tell you this. They don't have any help. Past Kevin Durant and past Kyrie. After KD and after Kyrie, they have nothing. So that makes the defense easy. It makes it easier to play defense when you only have to worry about two guys. You know what I mean? So I think that's more of the problem than KD playing bad and Kyrie playing bad.
Both of them at a high level.
I don't because they don't have anything else besides them that can score the basketball. Curry can't score on his own. Seth can't get his own shot. He needs screens or whatever.
He's been improving his shot making on his own. He's been improving.
They don't have and unless somebody else step up. I personally
they've been stepping up offensively. They both been stepping up.
I personally believe
to stop getting in foul trouble, Andre Drummond will probably be effective as well. Because when I watch Andre Drummond on the court in the first half of both series, watch Andre Drummond on the court, he just makes it hard for the Celtics to really. Because to me the Celtics riding on right now is the fact that they're getting all these offensive rebounds, and when Drummond's on the court, that goes down a lot. It says I heard somebody talk about this. It says defense's rebound rating is one of the best in the league right now.
Yeah,
bringing down a rebound, Andre Drummond will get those rebounding possessions, and he limiting those offensive rebounding.
Yeah,
for the Celtics, that takes away a lot of Celtics points. That's to me they're getting a lot of points off fast breaks, offensive rebounds, and it's crazy to me. It's crazy. And also Jaylen Brown hitting clutch threes, hitting dagger after dagger after dagger. Watch his man make like 3 threes in a row. I'm like, what are we doing? Like, why can't we call time? Yeah.
Nets and what you so what I changed my pick. Nets and 7 now. What you got? 7.
6 or 7. 6 or 7.
Zach, what you got?
All right. Well,
Zach got the Celtics.
What's your take on the series, Zach? What's your take?
From what I've seen from the series, it's a lot of what I said when we talked about this going up. A lot of what I said where just the Celtics were going to be a huge defensive mismatch for the offense of Brooklyn, because basically all you have to do is you just got to stop one. You got to stop KD or you got to stop Kyrie. And as you've seen, like game 1, the Celtics shut down Kevin Durant, completely shut down Kevin Durant, and let Kyrie beat them. And Kyrie can't beat them. Kyrie can't beat them alone. And the only players that I've seen show up, at least in these first 2 games for the Nets, is Kyrie Irving and Nick Claxton. Other than that, the rest of the Nets players look flat. And I'm probably going to catch a lot of flack for this too. KD is not a championship level player on his own. He has to be on a team with other championship level players. Look at his Golden State thing. I don't think KD, great, one of the greatest all-time scorers. I'm not knocking him there. But I don't think he has the ability in him to carry a team to the finals, to carry a team to a championship. I mean, he's shown it in the past. He had to go join a 72-win team to win 2 championships, and he was the 4th option on a stacked team. You know,
He's the main option.
Yeah.
Listen,
what's the best player on the court?
I mean, I'd say Steph Curry was probably the main option there. Steph Curry's always the main option in Golden State. Always.
Durant lost a lot from me when, like you said, Zach, he can't lead a team to a championship by himself. When you're up 3-1 versus the team, Golden State, the team that you joined, 3-1 in the Western Conference semifinals. Was that year? Was it the semifinals or the?
It was a conference final. It was conference finals.
3-1, and you can't win one game. One game. Me and my friend, and I'll let you finish that. Me and my friend had this debate. Let me ask you this question. You think if Kobe Bryant was on that same team, replace Kobe with KD, you think Kobe gonna get it one game?
We're not talking about the Kobe in that era, Kobe, but we're talking.
No, I'm saying you don't think Kobe's gonna get one game. Kobe will score 90 points if he has to.
Kobe from that year. Talk about prime Kobe. Right.
I'm talking about Kobe Bryant.
No, I know, but I'm asking honestly. Are you talking about the Kobe before he right before he retired? Or
no, Kobe? We're talking about the Kobe after he retired. Of course, we're talking about the Kobe. Prime
exactly.
Kobe.
Exactly. I'm talking about Kobe Bryant. Come on now.
I was listening to that.
Same age at Kevin Durant was at that time. That Kobe.
Okay. Damn.
Yeah, I would say because Kobe Bryant won a championship with the second best player on his team being Pau Gasol.
Yeah. Let's not knock.
Exactly.
Pau's not. I'm not knocking Pau. I'm just saying Pau was the second best player on that team. He could have had a lot. You know, he didn't need a 72-win team. He didn't need Steph Curry, Clay, Draymond Green, to go win a championship.
Exactly.
He didn't need that. I mean, hell, he even had Westbrook. What was it? It was Westbrook and KD in OKC, and they couldn't win a championship. And honestly, personally, I say the same thing about Westbrook. I don't think either guy has the leadership ability in them to carry a team like to a finals, to be like, no, I'm going to put this team on my back. And I think this series with Boston has shown that, especially with KD. Like, just KD, like you said, KD's taken some horrible shots, some shots that he normally wouldn't take. And like, I mean, if you look at what I was talking about with the end of game 1, that final like 15-second sequence there, that was prime trap defense by the Celtics. The Celtics knew Kyrie was going to get the ball. They made Kyrie move around. They double teamed Kyrie that whole time. If you saw, they switched the double team from KD to Kyrie on that play, knowing that they had 10 seconds on the shot. And the Celtics, they completed their defensive job flawlessly because they wanted to make the Nets take a bad contested shot. And that's what ended up happening with KD. And it gave them the opportunity to win the game at the end.
They're forcing him in those bad shots. They're forcing him into those bad shots.
I think the Nets' problem is they don't have a true leader on that team. They don't have anyone that's going to rally the team when they get down in a moment like that. When your leader is like, "Hey, we got this." They don't have someone who's like that. They look very flat. Like, I saw KD go to the sidelines after that, and he looked dejected. Like, after that shot, he wasn't like, "Okay, we're going to get this." No, he looked like he was defeated. I'm like, that's not what you want in a leader. You don't want your leader looking defeated. You want, regardless of the situation, even if they know they're defeated, you want them to be like, "No, we got this. We got this. Like, come on, you can do this. Rally it." Like I said, from what I've seen, the Nets just need more. But I just think overall, from from top to bottom, I think the Celtics have much better depth, have a much better team. Like even this second unit for the Celtics is a lot better than the Nets' second unit. I think though, if Ben Simmons was around, this might be a different series. It might give the Nets a little bit more on the defensive edge, but I still think Boston would win it. I mean, right now I have Boston in 6 because the series is going back to Brooklyn. I know Brooklyn's going to win at least a game or two in Brooklyn. That's inevitable. They're going to win a game or two. I think the Celtics win one game in Brooklyn, and then I think they end the series back in Boston. I think it goes back to Boston. I think that the Celtics will be up 3-2 going back to Boston.
I'm gonna stay and I'm gonna ride the train till the wheels fall off. I'm staying with Brooklyn, even though it looks bad, man. It looks bad.
Now let me ask you guys this: so, let's say Brooklyn somehow wins this series. I personally don't think Brooklyn has a chance in the second round.
Here we go
with the team that they've. If I just think like, okay, so let's say they match up with the Sixers in the second round.
No, they can't.
Bucks.
They would match up with the Bucks in the second round. I still don't think they can beat the Bucks. I don't think they can beat the Bucks. Like even if they win this series, I think they're a one and done team. Like
I think they beat the Bucks.
I don't think they have
a different matchup. It's a different matchup.
It definitely is a different matchup, but
Bucks don't play. I don't think the Bucks don't play as good a defense as Boston.
No, but Middleton is fucking Jordan in the playoffs. So
who on the Nets could guard Giannis? Let's really talk about it. When Giannis pushes that down and drives to the rack, who I don't see anybody on the Nets that could stop Giannis.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I don't see anyone on the Nets who can stop Giannis.
Combined effort between Drummond. When Giannis drives to the rack, Drummond is always being brought outside because they switch a lot. How the Bucks set it up, they switch a lot. Make sure Drummond's outside the paint when Giannis is driving. So the Nets are a small team.
So Jabo, you telling me
6'6" dude.
So you telling me you riding with Milwaukee over Brooklyn?
I just want to figure out. I just don't know how the Nets could figure out a defensive way to stop Giannis. To beat the Bucks, the Nets need to find a way to slow down Giannis. Actually, that's impossible. What else are we going to do to beat the Bucks?
Listen. We talking about like I think we're downplaying. I think downplaying the greatness of KD. Listen,
I understand. No, I get KD's great.
Listen, KD is going to have one of those games now.
Will have those games. He will. KD is one of the best players in the league right now. He will. He has to have those games. It's literally built. It's literally written on his player card. He has to do it.
All right, let's go. Let's go to that Milwaukee series then. All right, so
Milwaukee versus Bulls.
Yes, let's move to that series because
props to the Bulls for stealing the game.
Let's move to that series because
I give Bulls effort.
Who we got in this series?
Honestly, man. I don't know.
I think I'm going with Milwaukee, and here's why. I think the best. Look, the NBA, as we all know, NBA playoffs. It's usually the best defensive teams have long playoff runs. Yeah. But I don't see the Bulls are minus their best defensive player in Lonzo Ball.
Yeah.
And me and Yavo were talking about this last night, just on our little private Skype call. That we were talking about Lonzo, how he's 6'6" and he can guard pretty much four positions. He can guard the 1 through 4, and he is a great defender. I think that's a huge, tremendous loss for the Bulls in the playoffs. Like I think DeRozan's a great player. Levine's great, but I think in the playoffs it takes more than scorers to win. You need more than people that can you need people that can put the ball in the bucket. But in the playoffs, how you win is getting stops. You don't win from your scorers aren't going to win you unless they're freaks of nature like Kobe, who can just drop 90 any fucking night.
Give you a 50 right there.
Yeah, but Kobe's an exception. Like Kobe was an exception to that. But yeah, I just don't unless without some miracle or something I just don't see how the Bulls can win the series against the Bucks. Like, I think they'll win a couple games. Like, they stole one the other night, and I think they'll win another game in the series. But I don't see how they can beat the Bucks.
What you got, Milwaukee and what?
Milwaukee in 6, because I think the Bulls can win 2. Yeah, I think the Bulls can win 2 games.
Man, after what I had, go ahead, y'all.
I was saying, I think the Bulls to me, if they could push this to 7 games, if the Bulls manage to push this to a game 7, I think they can win it all. I think they can. Night in, night out, we've seen DeMar DeRozan this season just flat out win the Bulls games in the clutch. And to me, that alone tells me enough that the Bulls have an opportunity to win. If the series ends early, it's all Bucks. It's all Bucks to me.
Yeah, and I think that's what the Bucks want. I would agree with you there. I don't think the Bucks want that to be a 7-game series, because I agree with you, Jalo. I think if it goes 7 games, the Bulls do have a good shot to win in 7 games. I think the Bucks want to end it before that point.
I had a 7 game. I game 7.
After what I seen from DeMar DeRozan, that 40 when he dropped 41, man, and the way he was giving, he was giving everybody the business. He was giving Giannis the business. He was, and the Bulls have a nice team around them too, a nice nucleus. They got
Vuk.
Yeah, they got Vooch.
They got Vuk, Levine.
They got Levine. Those guys are good. I mean, I was gonna say, if they stretch it to 7, I think Bulls got a chance. But I'm gonna say Milwaukee in 7 after what I seen from DeMar DeRozan. But I'm not gonna count the champs out. I don't think they're gonna beat the champs. I think Milwaukee is gonna find a way, to, no matter what the Bulls throw at them, they're gonna find a way to pull through it, because I think they got the experience. They've been there before, so I think Milwaukee pulls it out still, though.
Speaking of, I heard reports that they lost Bobby Portis last night.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But
the Bucks lost Bobby Portis.
Because Brook Lopez is back
for the series.
Had a great game last night.
He's done for the year.
Lopez played amazing.
Oh yeah, he's done for the year.
That levels off of what Bobby Portis is doing. Oh, I'm still here. My screen just went black. My screen just went.
I can still see it. I think they'll be fine without Bobby Portis. I think the Bucks will be just fine without Bobby Portis.
I mean, they were just fine, but to me, Bobby Portis just did a lot for them. He did a lot.
No.
Absolutely, but they got Brook Lopez back, who does the same things, and Bobby Portis was only playing because Brook Lopez was out. Yeah. That's why Bobby Portis saw the uptick in minutes, because Brook Lopez was out for most of the year.
Yeah.
So I think they'll be fine with that.
Yeah.
So what's the next series? Raptors and 76ers?
Sweet.
You think it's going to be a sweep?
Bring out the brooms. Bring out the brooms.
Hold on.
Bring out the brooms, man. Come on.
Wait a minute.
Bring out the brooms.
Wait a minute. Are we not going to talk about how the Sixers had to win this game because of a clutch overtime 3 from Embiid?
They still it's 3-0.
They won. But did the Raptors not show you enough that the fact that they can win this series?
No. They're down 3-0. You think they're gonna come back?
Hey man, it's possible. It's possible. Not like it's possible. See, come back down 3-1, 3-0. It's possible.
I don't see it. And Maxi's been playing his ass off, man. I got to give it up for Maxi.
Yeah.
Right now, Maxi's their second best player right now.
I mean, James Harden outperformed Maxi last night.
I'm talking about in this series. As of right now, in this series, Maxi is their second best player.
I'm gonna tell you, I don't trust James Harden. I'm not gonna start doing it. I'm gonna keep sleeping on James Harden.
James Harden is gonna be the reason the 76ers do not make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. Watch what I tell you.
If they win, the reason won't be because of James Harden. It will be because Maxi stepped up.
Yeah. I don't know what's up with Harden, man.
Snare.
What's up with Harden, Zach? What you got for Harden? What's up with him?
All right. Well, I understand where you guys are coming from with the knocks on Harden, but you got to understand.
I'm just telling you the facts.
Hold on. You got to understand that when Harden was in Houston, yes, he had talent in Houston with him, but he never had a Joel Embiid. He never had that dominant big man down low in the paint. And that opens up so much more on the floor for Harden than Chris Paul and Carmelo Anthony would have. Allows Harden to do more, creates more spacing offensively. However, I mean, Harden's Harden. Harden's going to get his. Obviously, he's going to get his. He hasn't really seemed to be a distraction as much as he has been in Houston and in Brooklyn and Philly. I know it's still early. I know it's only a couple months into the Philly experiment.
Yeah,
but so far he hasn't.
He'll be on his way to another contender next year.
But that could be a likely possibility too, especially with the emergence of Maxey. I think, I don't know. I think, like I said, I just think James Harden's going to be James Harden, but I think the Sixers have a team that can carry them to easily the Eastern Conference Finals. I don't think they get to the NBA Finals, but I think they can go to the East Finals pretty easily. I mean, they're dominating this Raptors team in the playoffs. Who would they play? Who would they play in the second round? What, the winner of Miami? The winner of Miami and Atlanta?
Yeah,
Miami, which is
they beat Miami. They beat Miami.
Yeah, they can beat Miami. They can beat Atlanta. So, like I said, I just think I think the Sixers have the easiest road to the Eastern Conference Finals out of all the teams that are remaining, because regardless, like Milwaukee still has to go through Boston or Brooklyn, and Brooklyn or Boston still has to go through Milwaukee to get to the Eastern Conference Finals, and whereas they pretty much have a cakewalk. I mean, I'm not going to say anything about Harden, but I will say I think the big surprising thing for me about the Sixers is the play of Tyrese Maxey, even after the Harden trade. Because I think like a lot of people were like, "Oh, how's this going to affect Tyrese Maxey?" Because Tyrese Maxey has been playing very well all year. Yeah. He's really improved from his rookie season to this year. And I was like, is that going to hinder his development now? But it clearly hasn't. He's stepped up and he's shown that he can make the adjustments needed and realize, okay, I can't affect the team in the way that I wanted to now that James Harden's here. So let me figure out another way to affect this team in a positive way. And so I'll give all the praise to Tyrese Maxey for how he's handled the situation, how he stepped up in his ability, and to really morph his game like overnight, pretty much. Like he really had to change like his style of play, his focus, like what he did, So I give all the credit to Tyrese Maxey. And I think Tyrese Maxey is, if he can continue playing well, I think he'll be a big reason why the Sixers are successful in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah. He's better than Tobias Harris.
Oh, absolutely, he's better than Tobias Harris.
Leave my man Tobias.
He's not the third option no more.
I like Tobias real life, but me and Jay's on this stance with me. Fantasy, he's just on the list to just do not roster, do not have this player on your team.
Doing what he can, guys. Come on,
man, do not roster.
I know,
man.
It's not his.
I never have.
That's better than him now.
All right, let's go to this. Let's go to this Miami
Atlanta series.
Hey, can we bring up the broom now?
Huh?
Can we bring up the broom now?
I say the same thing. Same thing with that series too.
Yeah, I don't
see.
I mean, I know it's Trae Young, but I think they need more than. I think Atlanta needs more than Trae.
They need more, yeah. They need more.
They definitely need more than Trae, and honestly, I think Atlanta's biggest problem is they got to figure out what the fuck they're gonna do with John Collins and Clint Capella, and they've needed to do that for a couple of years. They need to trade one of them and let one of them just take that role
in the first place.
I think that they should pick Collins over Capella. Just because Collins is a better offensive player, they kind of need another scorer besides Trae. They need a secondary option. So I think Collins is the better choice over Capella, because Capella is just a rebounder and shot blocker, really in the middle. He doesn't really offer you much else other than that.
He's a lower version of Rudy Gobert. That's what he is.
Yeah, I mean, and Clint Capella does very well. He's a very good player, But I just think, I think that's Atlanta's biggest problem. And until they figure out what they're going to do with who between Collins and Capella, they're always going to kind of be a team.
And all their wings are the same too.
Yeah. That's why they traded Cam Reddish.
You know what I mean?
That's why they had to trade Cam Reddish. That's exactly why they had to trade Cam Reddish.
Yeah, because all their wings are the same. They, you know, all of
and I would say Hunter's better than Reddish at this point in time. I would say
yeah.
DeAndre Hunter is a better player than Cam Reddish.
Better defender.
Yeah. So I understand why they moved on Cam Reddish. Cam Reddish kind of, for where they drafted him, I hate using the word bust, but for where he was drafted and the expectations for Cam Reddish coming out, that's bust worthy. You know, I never thought Cam Reddish was going to be the superstar that everyone was making him out to be. I'm like, I never saw it with Cam Reddish's game in college. I always thought he kind of fit into the role that he is now, just a really solid role player on an NBA team that can contribute. He can definitely contribute and can definitely help you, but I never saw superstar level with Cam Reddish at all. Just, with that. You know. But I think until Atlanta figures out the Collins Capella situation, they're going to be a team in limbo. Yeah, and they're kind of always going to be in that 7 or 8 seed, you know. Miami. So I agree with you guys there, though. That's definitely get the brooms out for that series.
Yeah, they're too deep.
Because outside of I mean, look at when Atlanta's starting 5 is off the floor. Look at who they have come in. Like, you know, they basically have me. They basically have us 3 coming in off the bench when Trey, Capella, and Collins aren't in Atlanta. You know.
I see it. That's it.
All right. So what? Moving on. That's the whole East, right?
We covered the East. So let's go over to the Western Conference.
Oh now. Man, let's go to the good.
This is my favorite series: the Pelicans versus the Suns.
That's been a good series.
It's going to be a great series for the Pelicans.
We can start with Pel Suns.
Guys out with a hamstring injury that's going to keep him out for Game 4. He's not ruled out for the series. He's just ruled out for Game 4, Game 5. And I think Pelicans going to take advantage of this because Brandon Ingram, CJ McCollum, Jackson Hayes, not Nikola Vucevic. Who's on it? What's the Jonas Valanciunas?
Yeah, J-Val, Herbert Jones,
Graham, Herb Jones, all those guys. They're going to beat up this Suns team. I'm telling you guys, the Suns
don't fall for the hype.
Fakers.
Don't fall for the hype.
I will ride on this hill.
Don't fall for the hype.
So, to your point, Javo, you may not be old enough to remember this series, but before Golden State had Curry, I credit the full rise of Golden State to the Baron Davis Warriors, where they were the 8th seed and they went in and beat the number 1 seed, the number 1 team in the NBA, the Dallas Mavericks in the playoffs. That's what this.
Mark Jackson.
Yeah, that's what this New Orleans Sun series is starting to remind me of.
Do you think so?
Look, Bi is a very underrated player in general. He's great. He's good.
CJ. I like CJ now.
I like CJ too. I think Bi doesn't get enough credit. I think Brandon Ingram's a lot better than people give him credit for. And he's definitely shown that and improved. I think New Orleans has what it takes to win. I think it's going to be contingent on the Suns' health, if the Suns win or not. If the Suns can stay healthy in this series, yeah. But if they can't stay healthy, I mean, I don't know. New Orleans a scrappy team. That's what it is. New Orleans a very scrappy team. The Pelicans.
I'm gonna say this: don't fall into the hype, guys. Don't fall into the Devin Booker got hurt. That they're gonna lose now.
I'm not saying that they're gonna. I'm still a strong case on the Suns. Like I said, I still really think the Suns are the better team.
Suns in 6 without Devin Booker.
I could see the series going 7 easily. I can see it going 7
without Devin Booker.
I will say this though. If New Orleans had a healthy Zion with the team that they have, it's New Orleans in 5 easily. New Orleans in 5 if they have a healthy Zion.
And that's the question that I think. Did y'all see the text last night? I think that's the question I asked E. With the healthy Zion, and both teams healthy with the healthy Zion, do the Suns win that series?
No. Pelicans in 5 with a healthy Zion.
Forget about Zion. Let's go with the roster right now. Let me ask you this: about the Suns, right? Who's going to pick up the scoring? Yo, stop! I'm not doing this. Who's going to pick up the scoring? You think Chris Paul's going to pick up that scoring load? That Devin Booker is without Devin Booker?
But they play good. They play good team basketball, though. That's the one thing about the Suns. They play good team basketball.
They're very similar to the Suns are very similar to the Bucks towards me, and outside of their best players, they don't really have much. But their best players are really, really good. Like, but it's like, yeah, with the Bucks, outside of Giannis, Middleton, and Drew, they don't really have much.
I give the Suns the edge, though, as far as team chemistry over the Bucks without their best player, though.
No, and I get that. I understand that. But that's, to me, like, the Bucks and the Suns are very similar teams and how they're set up and how they're built. Yeah. So, I don't know. Like I said, yeah, I mean, I think right now, I think the Suns are going to win this series. I think it's going to be 7. I think it's going to go to 7 games because I just think New Orleans is just too scrappy of a team. But, with both rosters healthy, I just don't see the Suns having anyone that's able to match up against a healthy Zion Williams. Because if you have a healthy Zion in the middle, you have BI who can do his thing, and then you have McCollum, you got shooters in New Orleans. Like I don't think the Suns can match up to that if New Orleans was fully healthy with Zion. Like, I really don't. I think that would be a lopsided series in favor of the Pelicans with a healthy Zion. I think it'd be a 5-game series. I think Pelicans win 4-1.
That would be interesting to see. I tell you that.
It definitely would.
Sounds like you're gonna make out the first round against the Pelicans. So I don't see. Okay, outside of McCall Bridges, who's their best defender outside of McCall Bridges? Chris Paul, maybe Ken Johnson.
I'd probably say Chris Paul.
Crowder. I'll say Crowder.
Crowder. Okay.
Crowder's pretty good too, but
Chris Paul, Crowder, right?
Yeah.
What are they going to do to slow down BI or CJ?
Listen.
And DeAndre Ayton, he's not known for his defense. So what are you going to do against Jonas?
So you think the Pelicans going to win the series?
I think the Pelicans have the right tools to win the series.
No, what's your prediction?
What's my prediction? How many games?
Don't back out. What's your prediction?
I say there's a 7-game series, so I got Suns in 7.
6 or 7.
Who?
6 or 7.
Who you got?
They're going to win this in 6 or 7.
Pelicans?
The Pelicans.
I'm glad we record these shows.
Hey, question. Hey, you guys talk to Javon about basketball?
Yeah.
His takes are ridiculous.
They're not ridiculous. He just
because he just said the Pelicans. I know.
But trust me, I've known. I've checked him a few times and been like, "That's some foolish ass shit."
It takes me crazy. Like
nothing's crazy. You just
Javon's. He's good. He's good peeps though. We like Javon.
Yeah.
He may have some wild takes, but he does actually know what he's talking about.
Yeah, he does.
He definitely knows what he's talking about, even though he has wild takes.
Pelicans.
Knows what he's talking about.
I can't wait to get back to this. Hey, Pelicans.
Let me find out you're telling them different stuff you're telling me. Let me find out, man.
Pelicans. All right, I got Suns in 6, even without Booker.
Even without Booker?
Even without Booker, I got Suns in 6.
Jay, I'm sorry, man. You go down that sad hill, man. You go down that sad hill.
Now, I guess we'll see. Won't we?
Now, this next series, we're gonna go Warriors.
Who they're playing against right now? Nuggets, right?
The Nuggets, yeah.
I think we all know how this is going to turn out to be.
Listen, we are before the playoffs started. The question mark was Curry for me because the Warriors was my pick to come out. The Warriors is my pick to come out the West. And after seeing Curry, they're still my pick to come out the West.
Hey,
I'm not wavering. I'm not wavering from that pick because
I didn't waver.
Now they got Poole joining in on the action.
I told you guys, Poole is going to end up probably being the Finals MVP if the Warriors win it all.
No. Don't. You better put some respect on. You better put some respect on Curry last name.
I I
You gotta
have.
put some respect on that last name, man.
I also put respect on Iguodala and Kevin Durant. Actual Finals MVP.
34 off the bench. My boy dropped 34 off the bench.
Who, Curry?
Curry.
How much did Poole drop in his first game?
Listen.
The 30.
I like Poole. That's what I say. He's not gonna get Finals MVP though.
Not saying.
No. And I think Denver's outmatched in this series. I think without Jamal Murray and MPJ, I just don't think the Nuggets have a shot.
They don't have
more than Morris cannot be your best players outside.
I was gonna say they don't have a play. They don't have anybody that can just get them buckets. They don't have nobody like that right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Highlands and they're not. Bones Highlands is not there yet. That's the rookie, by the way.
Yeah,
he's good enough, but he's not a second option.
No,
not at this point. He's not.
Yeah,
he's everything Monte Morris been doing this season is only because Jamal Murray and MPJ has been out.
But it's gonna take Denver a lot more than Jokic to win.
Oh yeah.
Because if I'm a team going up against the Nuggets defensively, I'm stopping Jokic. I'm locking down Jokic and letting the rest of the Nuggets beat me, and I don't think that they can. I really think the Nuggets are kind of floundering at this point, and I think it's getting pretty ugly in that series.
That series is a sweep for me too. And Aaron Gordon is just a straight bum now. Aaron Gordon's a bum.
He's kind of always been a bum.
When the Magic had nothing.
Huh?
When the Magic had nothing, it was just him and Nikola Vucevic.
Yeah.
And Levine.
I see that. Aaron Gordon's a bum.
On that Magic team, but put them on a good team. Aaron Gordon has been useless to me. He's been useless all season long.
He giving me that Blake Griffin vibes.
Yeah, Aaron Gordon's not that good.
Take out of this, okay? It's not a conversation about Blake. Blake did more than Aaron Gordon can ever do in 2 seasons, okay?
Listen, I'm just saying he giving me them vibes. I'll give Blake the edge over Gordon, but I'm just saying it's just those vibes.
All right. So what do we got for the next playoff series in the West?
Jazz. The Mavs and Jazz.
Oh, Mavs and Jazz.
Mavs and Jazz.
That's been the series that's heating up.
Who you got?
Honestly, if Luka comes back on time, I have to go to the Mavericks. Because
it's 1-1 right now, right? It's 1-1.
It's 1-1. That's why I have to go to the Mavericks, because the Mavericks are playing great. Remember I told you about Jalen Brunson, Spencer? They are absolutely giving Utah the work. Jalen Brunson specifically is giving Utah the work.
I want to say like this for my take. I'm gonna go Utah in 7.
Utah in 7. Ooh.
Only for the simple fact that I don't like Dallas's second options. Even though Dinwiddie and Brunson, they're good players, they're solid players, but I don't like the second option. I don't like them as second options. And I think Mitchell. I think Mitchell in a 7 game. I think Mitchell and the boys could pull it out, because you got Gobert down in the middle.
Here's the problem with Gobert down in the middle. He's there for defense, but what we watch the Jazz play, and there's a lot of people talking about it, is when Gobert gets the mismatch, he rarely touches the ball in offense.
Yeah,
true.
So,
but let me ask you this. All right, let me ask you this. Do you think Brunson or Dinwiddie is better than Jordan Clarkson?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think Dinwiddie alone is a better basketball player than Jordan Clarkson.
I think Spencer and Brunson, if they're not better, they're right under him. They're both right under Clarkson.
I don't know about that one, Zach.
But however, with that said, I still have Utah winning this series.
Yeah.
Just because, like, the Mavs, I think it's going to be a 7-game series. I think the Mavs, especially when Luka comes back, Luka is just so great. He's the type of player that can cover a lot of holes on your team, even if you have lesser guys.
Like you mentioned, he covered the holes.
Yeah. But I think for me, I think what's going to be the edge in the series, I think it's going to be one of the more hard-fought playoff series this year, and I think Utah is going to win in 7, and I think it's going to be because Utah's been there before.
Yeah.
Utah's been in Game 7s. They've been in the playoffs before.
And they got the best player on the floor.
They know how to do it. I mean, I wouldn't say Utah has the best player on the floor by any means, but I would say because Utah to me is a team like Denver. Outside of Mitchell and Gobert, they don't really have much. I don't think Utah is a team that's built for a long playoff run to go like to the West Finals or to go out, to even make it to the NBA Finals. I don't think they're built like that. You need more than Gobert and Mitchell to win, especially in that conference. But I think for this series, I think I got to give the edge to Utah based on their experience and just them being there in Game 7s. Like, I don't think I think Dallas needs a little bit more. That's what I think I need to see from Dallas. They need a little bit more pieces. They need like another piece or two.
Last second shot, game on the line. Who you want taking a shot, Mitchell or Luka?
Luka.
Luka's a much better scorer.
I don't know.
Than Donovan Mitchell?
I don't know.
Luka isn't the best shooter out there. Okay,
he can't shoot better than Mitchell to me. He don't shoot better than Mitchell.
We need to really look at Luka's shooting numbers. We need to look at that. That's a problem. That's concerning to me for the level of talent he is. However,
it's because of so much volume though. Look at the volume of shots that Luka's taking. Luka is that whole offense.
So do you think Luka's a better scorer than Donovan Mitchell?
Yes.
What?
Yes, I think Luka Doncic is a better scorer all around than Donovan Mitchell.
I think all he does is he might travel more than Donovan Mitchell.
To me, honestly, I've never really gotten the hype with Donovan Mitchell. To be perfectly honest with you, everyone's like, "Oh, Donovan Mitchell's so great." I'm like, he's a 25-5 player. That's not that great.
I wouldn't say I wouldn't put him on superstar level status, but I would say he is a better scorer than Luka. I would say Luka's a better all-around player than him, but as far as scoring the basket, I think Donovan Mitchell is better.
Yeah, well, Luka's gonna show you something this series when he comes back.
I gotta see it. All Luka shows me is that he travels a lot. That's all Luka fucking shows.
All right. So we got more series to talk about.
What we got? Ja. Let's go Ja.
We got the Memphis.
Who they're playing against?
Timberwolves. This is the one that I was surprised that game 1. I actually watched the entirety of that game 1. And I watched that boy Anthony Edwards give them boys the business.
And D'Lo, don't forget D'Lo.
No, Anthony, that game 1 when they won 130 when they blew them boys out, that was Anthony Edwards' game. But Memphis came back that second game, they tied at 1-1. But I'm gonna tell you like this: I didn't watch Timberwolves all year, but watching them in this playoffs, they have a nice little, a nice young squad that they might be able to do something with. They got a nice little squad over there.
They definitely got some promising youth, and they're going to be good in a few years.
Yeah.
This year, though, no, I think Memphis is going to take. Memphis is going to do it in 6. And the reason why I say that, it's not even from a basketball standpoint or anything like that. It's the way Minnesota celebrated after they won their playoff game, their playing game. Minnesota acted like they won the NBA Finals. And for me, I was like, this is as good as it's going to get for the T-Wolves this year. They're going to get knocked out in the first round after that. Teams that always celebrate like that for some stupid stuff like, oh, we won our playoff game, and they're celebrating like it's the NBA Finals.
I say Memphis
no,
5.
Yeah, I think.
I say Memphis in 5.
Yeah, I think Memphis at 6, but yeah, I mean that's another series that I could see going 7 too, though, because
it could.
Same thing with after which series I said if like the Bulls and Bucks series. If this series go to 7, Minnesota has a really good chance of winning. Because if you just see one more game, I think Edwards or Cat could give you that game.
I guess, though, to me, it's going to be, yes, Edwards played his ass off in game one. But can he keep that up?
Yeah, can he
sustain it? Was that just, he just elevated for that game? Or can he sustain that level of play for an entire playoff series, for an entire playoff run? Like,
that all depends. That all depends on Grizzlies defense. That all depends on if Jaren Jackson won't stop at the rim. That all depends on if Dylan Brooks or who's the other guy?
No, it all depends on Anthony Edwards' mindset and his mental. It all depends on, does he want to put in the work? Does he want to do that? That's what it depends on. It doesn't depend on anyone else on the Minnesota Timberwolves but Anthony Edwards. If he's going to sustain that or not.
Listen, Anthony Edwards has the game to be able to take over.
Mine?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
He can, but like you said, to me, he's streaky. He's very streaky to me. Okay. Right now in his career, he's very streaky. Like that game one, he went off of what, 30 something.
What is he, 21?
That next game, he kind of.
Yeah. So, what is he, 21 years old, 21, 22 years old, something like that? So, I mean, I think the consistency as he gets older will happen. He'll learn. But I think, right now, to me, I don't think that level of play that we saw in game one from Anthony Edwards is sustainable for an entire playoff series. I don't think it's sustainable from him.
I'll show you guys. Because remember, Edwards is not even the best player on the team. Tony Towns is that best player. So you want sustainability. You want some guy who's going night in, night out, win you a game. That's going to have to be Cat.
But honestly, Edwards could be.
He could. No, he could be. But right now, it's Cat.
Yeah, it's Cat.
Right now, it's Cat.
Yeah, absolutely. It's Carl.
Yeah. Cat celebrate too much, like you said, Zach. Cat, he be too crunk.
It's not their fault. It's Patrick Beverley.
Cat be way too crunk.
What did he? Yeah, I remember. I saw the picture with all the. I don't know if you guys saw the memes of Cat where he's kissing his girl on the sideline.
Yeah.
Like, babe, he's like, babe, I got 7 points in a rec game. That's like 40 in the NBA. Like
Cat way too crunk. Yeah, Cat. He was excited. They thought, you ain't lying though. They thought they won the championship after that game.
That's how they were acting, and I'm like,
they were.
That's usually never a good sign. Like, like for them, for Minnesota, that playing game was their NBA Finals. That's what that was to them. That was their NBA Finals.
So what matchups y'all see in the West End?
So wait, we still got one more playoff series.
You got one more?
That's it. That's the last one.
That's it? Because we only did 3 in the West. Are there 4?
We did 4.
We did 4. Utah, Mavericks, Utah.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Golden State.
Yeah, Golden State. So what matchups y'all see moving on, coming up?
In the conference finals?
Yeah.
Ooh. Well, to me, Warriors is going to be there. So the question is, who's going to make it from the other side? Is it going to be the Suns? Is it going to be the Pelicans? Is it going to be the Mavericks? Or that's the good question.
I got Suns Warriors in the conference finals. And I got Warriors. I got Curry them winning it.
Honestly, I think the Pelicans are the dark horse here. They could go not to the finals, but they could go to the conference finals. To me, the Pelicans have the ability to beat all the other teams that they have to match up against.
Bravo.
So I don't think without Zion they have the ability to make it to the West Finals.
Pelicans conference finals, but the Warriors are going to run away with this series.
Java, let me get some of what you got. What you spoke?
Hey, I got for my Western Conference Finals. I got Golden State and Memphis.
That'll be a good one. Too.
I think those are the 2 best teams in the Western Conference.
The Memphis,
Golden State and Memphis. For the Western Conference Finals.
Memphis come out. They play Memphis second round.
What?
The Grizzlies. They play them. The Warriors will play them second round.
Would they?
Yeah,
they would. Yeah, they would. Yeah.
Actually, be the matchup.
They would. Yeah, they would. That's 2-3. 2-3. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh. That's gonna be a good one right there.
Oh.
I got Warriors. I got Warriors in 6.
Okay, I laugh when Stephen Curry and that Warriors team run over the Grizzlies. I'm gonna laugh. I'm going to laugh.
They are.
I'm gonna come here and I'm gonna laugh. I'm gonna
Memphis.
every moment. I'm gonna come out here with a roll, with some nice shades. I'm gonna get a can of something. I'm gonna be on my Patrick Beverly bar, just chilling.
Memphis. I don't know. I don't see nobody beating that Warriors team when they catch fire. The way those shooters I don't see it.
I've seen a lot from Jordan all season long, and I hate watching the Warriors. I said this before on that episode. I hate watching that Warriors team. I really do, because what irks me so much about them is how good they are.
Yeah,
that's what hurts, because watching Jordan Poole, you look at how Jordan Poole plays.
The ball movement in the offense.
So he could shoot the ball. Like when I'm talking about he could shoot the ball, he over here taking shots from ranges that Curry would take a shot from. And that's scary. That's scary.
So good.
He's from the Warriors are gonna go from Stephen Curry to potentially very, very likely Jordan Poole, the way Jordan Poole been playing this season.
Jordan Poole.
All right. Well, I guess I'll be the opposer here and say that outside of the Boston Celtics, the Memphis Grizzlies are the second most complete team in the NBA playoffs from top to bottom.
Where are they complete?
Roster-wise. From top to bottom, their depth from...
They only have 4 guys.
I don't know if you can say... I was going to say, I don't know if you can say that, Zach.
Yeah.
Why? Because they got Melton that comes off the bench. They got Brooks. They got Clark. They got Tyus Jones. They got Ja.
See how that Tyus Jones just fits into that little thing you just did?
It's still a depth piece, and Tyus Jones is a lot better depth piece than a lot of these bench players in the rest of the Western Conference. So that's what I'm saying. I don't look at these series as the stars. I look at what's the depth. That's what's going to win you these series. And overall, I think in the Western Conference, Memphis has the best depth of any team remaining.
But I think the Warriors got depth too, though.
I mean, outside of Poole, unless Kuminga all of a sudden starts standing on his head and fucking plays at a Jordan Poole level, I don't see it. Like I said, Golden State has their 6. They have their starting 5 and their 6th man with Jordan Poole, and those guys are phenomenal. And they have the experience, they have the coaching. Like I said, honestly, if you watch the Golden State Warriors and how Steve Kerr coaches them and they're playing and the composition, this is a topic for another stories. But Steve Kerr pretty much recreated those Jordan Bulls in Golden State. He took what they did in the 90s with the Bulls, and he was just like, yeah, I'm going to do that same thing in Golden State.
Look at what Steve Kerr's been. He's been around a lot of great people. He's been around the Bulls. He's been around the Spurs.
Yeah.
So I mean, no, and Steve Kerr is a phenomenal basketball coach.
He's a winner.
Yeah, he's a great basketball coach. He's a winner. What he's done in Golden State has been great. Golden State has the pedigree, but I don't know. Like I said, I think Memphis is the most complete team in the Western Conference.
I get what you're saying, Zach. Memphis, I would say Memphis they're deeper team than Golden State.
Yeah.
Top to bottom, yeah, they're deeper.
Absolutely. I would say that Memphis's bench is better than Golden State's.
Yeah, I just think that when it comes down to it, though, I'm gonna go back to that experience again. I think that Golden State is gonna have that experience of being in that spot before, especially with Draymond. You know what I mean? Because Draymond brings a lot to the table too.
Draymond is gonna throw Jaren Jackson off his game.
Oh yeah.
But I think another thing that you guys aren't realizing with Golden State is Curry, Clay, Draymond, they're not 28 anymore.
Oh,
they're 30. Right. They're 34.
You're right.
They're my age. They're 30. They're 33, 34, 35. Like, that's going to catch up with you. It's a long season. Trust me. I can tell you. Jay can probably tell you too, Javo. As someone in their 30s, I could not keep up with someone in their. I could not keep up with a 23-year-old for a 7-game series. I think age is going to be a factor. I think age is going to play a factor in a Golden State. I do.
Think so?
I really think they're very good. And yes, shooting doesn't go away, but athleticism does.
I think the way they shoot the ball is I don't think Memphis is going to be able to stop that.
Okay, but let me ask you this: outside of Draymond, Clay, and Steph, the team is relatively young.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's not that great. It
Kuminga,
doesn't matter if you have young guys. They're not that outside of Jordan. Jordan Poole is the best of those young guys. And he's clearly the best of those 22, 23-year-olds. But outside of that, the rest of those guys are very inexperienced and aren't that great right now. Aren't that good right now. I'm not saying that they're not going to be good, but right now, in this very moment, Kuminga, Moody, their young players are inexperienced and aren't that good. Whereas Memphis has the on the bench side of it, on the depth side and the bench aspect of it, Memphis's players have more experience in the NBA level than these young rookies. You're basically saying that these rookies are going to carry Golden State, and I don't see three rookies. I don't see the rookies carrying Golden State. I don't see Kuminga carrying Golden State.
Who's not a rookie? Otto Porter is not a rookie.
Otto Porter sucks. He's not that great. Otto Porter is not that good. Like, not that good.
Otto Porter's decent.
But they have the NBA experience to keep the team.
I would say Kevin Looney is better than Otto Porter.
Looney's good now. Looney's good.
No, Looney's definitely good. But
those guys are not rookies. They've been in the league longer than most of Grizzlies roster. And they're still on NBA teams for a reason.
They're still on the Golden State Warriors. They're not on NBA teams. I don't think a lot of those guys sniff an NBA roster.
On multiple teams.
I think the Grizzlies they're Grizzlies as a year away. They're a year away.
I think the winner of the Western Conference comes out of that round 2 series between Memphis and Golden State. Whoever wins that series is going to win the West.
Yeah.
I like the Suns. I like the Suns if it's not Golden State.
The Suns have to make it there first, Jay.
I don't want to hear nothing you talk about the Pelicans. I don't want to hear nothing about the Pelicans. Nothing about no Pelicans.
Okay, forget about the Pelicans.
All right, so what if it's Suns Mavs next round? What if it's Suns Mavs? What if it's Suns Jazz?
Suns beat both of either one of those teams.
You think the Suns beat both those? I think they beat the Mavericks. I don't know if they
beat the Jazz. They didn't have the best record. They didn't have this best record all year for no reason. They play as a team. To me, they play as a like without take away Devin Booker. They still play as a team, and they can still win games without Devin Booker. That's why I like them. That's why I think that they'll beat most teams even without their best player.
But the regular season's a lot different than the postseason.
You're right.
They have to make it past the Pelicans without Booker first. That's what they need to do. That's their primary goal right now. They already see it stepping.
The Pelicans.
I mean, everything could change too. Like one injury can change the whole thing. You know, Curry could get hurt again, and then boom, Golden State's done.
Right now. So what are the Suns going to do?
We're gonna see. We're gonna see.
I saw a lot of goals in the Suns game when after Booker went down. The moment Booker went down, the game went from a close game to a Pelicans are just flat out killing you on the offensive side.
I like
the stops.
All right. Another thing too, I think we talk far too much about Devin Booker on this show. Ethan gives us enough homer takes on the Suns. I'm sick of hearing Devin Booker's name every episode. I'm trying to do an episode without Devin Booker being brought up.
Hey, listen,
I'm giving Ethan a shout out. Shout out, Ethan.
I think Devin Booker's been the most talked about player we've had on this show in 6 or 7.
But I like Suns if the Warriors don't make it, and then I like Brooklyn. I like Milwaukee if Brooklyn don't make it.
I still think the winner of the second round matchup between the Nets or Celtics or Bucks are going to go all the way to the finals. One of those 3 teams. Celtics, Nets, or Bucks.
Yeah.
I'm not trusting James Harden, and not.
No.
They can make it. They have to. They have to make it to the finals, the conference finals, because their second round matchup. I mean, that's if they beat the Heat. I'm betting on them beating the Heat, but they have to make it to the conference finals. So I can't take that away from the Sixers, but I can't trust them to close out the series with their past history of their main 2 out of 3 guys. That's no 3 out of 4 guys. Let's really talk about what's Tobias Harris going to do for him.
Nothing.
He's been taking. Listen, Tobias Harris move. They picked up Tobias Harris, replaced Jimmy with Tobias, so he moved into that second scoring spot. Tyrese Maxey moved to that third scoring spot. James Harden now moved to the 4th scoring spot.
No.
Wait.
No.
Did you just say James Harden moved to the 4th scoring spot?
No.
James Harden is not a 4th option and never going to be a 4th option.
I said that took away from Tobias.
At lowest, James Harden is the 2 on that team.
No,
Yeah.
I could see Embiid being the 1, being the main option, and then Harden being the 2. But other than that, no. Harden's not following more than the 2. He won't allow. It's James Harden. He's not going to allow that.
He's not. I'm just saying that Tobias is just moving down the ladder year after year.
But that's his game. Like, that's the way he plays. Like, if you even see, like, even when he's out there on the floor, Tobias Harris, he looks like he's like nonchalant always. I never liked Tobias Harris.
It comes down to Tyrese Maxey because James Harden is not going to get them over that hump.
No, Maxey's gonna get him there, but they're not gonna beat the Bucks. They're not gonna beat Brooklyn, or they're not gonna beat Boston.
All right. So let's kind of wrap this up real quick. So Jay, who do you have as your NBA Finals matchup? Who do you think?
I'm gonna stay put to what I've been saying. Golden State, Brooklyn.
Golden State, Brooklyn. What about you, Jabo?
That's my answer right there. Warriors versus Nets. I want to see KD look her in the eye as he shoots a dagger and wins the finals without him. See what happens. Because that's going to change the whole narrative for Kevin.
Yeah, I'm not gonna waver because I'm nervous. If I had to waver, it would be Memphis, Boston, but I'm staying put.
Memphis, Boston.
Because I like what I see. Listen, Zach, I underestimated Boston when you were talking Boston early before the playoffs.
I wasn't just giving you a homer take. I was giving
listen, man. And Tatum, oh man.
The Celtics have done everything that I said they were going to do in that last episode. In the episode that we talked about it, they did everything that I said they were going to do against Brooklyn.
It's scary. So, but I'm staying Golden State. Golden State, Brooklyn.
All right, I'm gonna go Golden State. Because I said, I think the winner comes out of that Golden State Memphis series. I think that's the winner of the Western Conference. Whoever wins that series goes on to win the West. One of those 2 teams. But yeah, I mean, to the points that you guys made, and like what we talked about, Kerr is a great coach, and I just think he's gonna find a way. He's gonna put his team always in, regardless who he has on the floor. He's gonna put his team in positions to win. You know. He's going to figure out a way. I really haven't seen a coach in the NBA currently that can match wits with Steve Kerr from a schematic standpoint, you know? So I think out of the West, yeah, it's going to be it's going to be the winner of Memphis, Golden State. And yeah, I guess I'll give the experience to Golden State. But with that said, I think the Eastern Conference matchup, and I think the far away best team in the NBA over the last 2 months of the season is the Boston Celtics.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be Boston and Golden State, and I think it's going to be Boston in 6 over Golden State.
Boston has to stop Golden State.
Wow.
Udoka is a much better coach than Brad Stevens. And from previous playoff runs, from what I saw, like the last time they made it to the East Finals, Brad Stevens cost us that series. It wasn't the players. It was Brad Stevens coaching that cost making the right substitutions when needed, all that, not putting Udoka is a much better coach than Brad Stevens. Not to knock Brad Stevens, because Brad Stevens was a good coach. He did a lot of good things, but I think Brad Stevens is a much better role for him as the GM. Yeah. And I think Udoka is a much better coach. I think Udoka gives them the edge, and I think it's clearly shown that they're a much better defensive team with Udoka.
Steve Kerr?
What?
You think he's going to outcoach Steve Kerr?
I don't think he's going to outcoach Steve Kerr, but I think the Celtics will outplay Golden State.
I don't know how he's going to play Golden State.
Again,
I think if any team in the Eastern Conference can match up toe-to-toe with Golden State right now, it's the Boston Celtics. Hands down. From top to bottom, they can evenly match up. Like, Golden State would have an edge against Brooklyn from the lineup standpoint. Like, that's what I'm saying. From top to bottom, the only team that can match up in the Eastern Conference with Golden State is the Boston Celtics from top to bottom.
I don't see that. I don't see who's on.
And I have it Boston Philly in the East Finals.
Boston Philly.
First of all, I don't see how Boston makes it past the Bucks or the Sixers, but off of that, I don't see who the Celtics have outside of their main guys that can match up with the Warriors.
And that's another episode. So I can do a whole episode taking you to school on that one.
Those names you're going to produce is going to be better than Jordan Poole.
Dude, Jordan Poole, you're on his dick hard.
Better than Jordan Poole. That's how we're going to end this all.
Jordan Poole. Then what are you gonna do when Jordan Poole's getting shooting 2 of 19 shooting because he's lined up on Marcus Smart the whole game?
So Marcus Smart's going to leave Curry or Clay?
Why? When you have Jaylen Brown and Tatum, who are great defenders, and you can match them up on that, and it would be,
it's not getting past Milwaukee, so I don't want to hear Boston.
I don't know Brown and Tatum's going to keep up with those.
Milwaukee's not getting past Milwaukee. I told Javel this last night on that private thing. I felt Milwaukee last year was kind of default, like the best team remaining was just kind of like, it was just because like earlier in the playoffs, they had an easy playoff run. They didn't play, Boston, all the top teams in the East last year knocked themselves out of the playoffs, and the last team left in the East by default was Milwaukee. Yeah. And I think if they played any other team in the West other than the Suns, Milwaukee doesn't win that series.
I know. We'll have to see.
I think the only way Milwaukee won that series is because they played the Phoenix Suns. That's the only reason why Milwaukee is an NBA champion. Other than that, if they played the Nuggets, any other team last year, Golden State, anything, they would have lost that playoff series. They would have lost that championship series. So I'm not a believer in Bucks. To me, the Bucks are Giannis, and that's it. Outside of Giannis, they got Giannis. Middleton is streaky. Like, it depends which Chris Middleton's going to show up. Are you going to get the MJ Middleton? Or are you going to get Chris Middleton? That to me depends.
That's true.
What about
Drew Holiday? Outside of this year, like, he's played his ass off this year, and I give Drew props because he's raised his game this year. But I just that's another player that I don't think can sustain that level of play. Brook Lopez, he's always a solid role player. I just think. I don't know. I don't see it with Milwaukee. I really don't.
Forget Drew's offense. What about Drew's defense?
That's what I'm saying. Drew, even defensively, he's stepped it up. He's always been a good defender, but this year he's played his best best basketball of his career. This year, Drew Holiday.
Yeah.
So I just don't know. I don't know if he can continue to sustain that or whatever. I just never really. I don't know. I've never been big on the Bucks. Like, I love Giannis, and I think Giannis is great. And Giannis is a player like Luka that can cover a lot of holes on your team. But I think when Giannis isn't on the floor, the Bucks kind of get exposed.
Well, we shall see.
And Giannis can't play 48 minutes a night. So
why not?
I see.
What?
Right.
Why can't you play 48 minutes a night if it's for the conference finals and the NBA finals?
Right.
And no one plays 48 minutes a night.
I was gonna say, yeah, right.
He'd be dead the next. Yeah, they play him 48 minutes a night, and then just for what? For him to play 10 minutes the next night because he's gassed.
That's why it's not a back to back. The game's never back to back. They have the resting day, then they have to play again, or sometimes they play the other day.
He ain't playing the whole game.
To me, the Bucks are the Mavericks of the Eastern Conference. Like,
no.
Very similar setup, very similar team setup.
One man dominant, yes.
Yeah, one man dominant. How they're set up, like that one man is great.
Yeah,
it's absolutely great. Covers a lot of holes. But to me, those two teams are very similar in how they're constructed.
They are
put together.
They are.
But on that note, On that note, guys, as always, it's been another episode from the Dynasty crew here.
Dynasty show, guys.
As always, again, I know I said this in the intro, but make sure you like the episode and give us a subscribe. You want to become one of the subscribers. We're at like 30 subscribers right now. We're doing the 50 subscriber giveaway, so you want to hop on that and get your name in, because all the first 50 subscribers will have their name in the list for the giveaway, and one of you will win some Dynasty merch, some Dynasty show merchandise. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, give us a like and subscribe. As always, I'm Zach. We got Javon. We got Jay.
Jay, stop. You're giving me Beverly vibe right now.
And from us at the Dynasty Show to you and yours, have a great day. Have a great week.
Sir.
Stay tuned for more.
Rock that on the track, boy.